stop. Did you guys see what just happened? And that's exactly what we're going to start off our day with, which is Sonos speakers, if this then that, has come up with a new way to automate playing music on their speakers. Nevertheless, this is just a beta version, but this is just what is happening. You get into your house with your smart house, and then you just open your door, and then you just walk in, and you can customize Sonos speakers to play a particular track that you desire. Pizza has arrived at the door, and you can customize what song to play. Now, if you're leaving your house, you can just automate things to stop music. You can play your favorite song unless you're home late. Now, these are all the lots of things that Sonos Speakers is experimenting with IFTTT. Now, marketing is no longer the world that we had imagined earlier. It's a completely new ballgame altogether. So this is a recent thing that's happening. I mean, if you don't evolve, you're just not going to evolve. So you're just going to die. So marketing automation are no longer jargons. They are a way of life, and we either adapt to them or we perish. So welcome to the new world, and I welcome you all to the Digital Marketing Daily Digest episode number 9, and you're with Casey. Let's get started. Since we're talking about automation, let's also talk about what are the most automated techniques that's being used, or where does marketing automation get utilized more. Now, marketing automation can talk about anything from simply automating an autoresponder to a customer opting into your service and he receiving a goodie that you always want to deliver him. Now, all these things result in marketing automation. Now, as far as Europe goes, and this is my latest statistic as far as Europe is concerned, I'm not talking about the global phenomenon, I'm just talking about Europe in this context. Now, Europe has done a recent study as far as marketing automation goes, and this is what they found. They found that email marketing and lead generation are the two most used marketing automation techniques, and there's another whole lot of things that we need to explore and get automation onto, but lead generation and email marketing are like two sides of the coin. Now, you generate your leads and you stay in touch with your leads through email marketing. Now, as far as you have got both of these together on your site, you're actually winning a game. So marketing automation is actually the next thing, which is really going to be big. All right, so let's talk about Google. Google, the first update that I have is about Google My Business, which lets you edit and reply to reviews from the Google My Business Knowledge panel, which means you go to google.com and you say reviews about Hard Rock or Hard Rock Cafe, where you read the reviews. Now, you have an option to reply to those reviews right from that knowledge panel, which wasn't available earlier, and you had to go back to Google My Business, log in, search for the review all over again, whether it's good or bad, and then you had to reply to these reviews earlier. Now you can do it from the place where you can actually read the review, just hit a reply button, and then you can respond to these reviews on Google My Business. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about Google is about the next level of update, or the next update that I have about Google, how Google has made very recent changes about Google Shopping ads, where we heard and we understood that Google Shopping ads will contain videos going forward. Now, Google, along the lines of what Instagram has done in the past, where you can have certain shoppable posts on Instagram, which means you're browsing your phone and you saw a picture of a camera, let's say, and then you saw certain tags where you can click on that and you can go to the product page of that product, these are called as shoppable posts on Instagram. Now, the same facility or the same feature is going to be introduced in Google Shopping ads, where you will have shoppable images on Google Shopping ads. Now, it's an interesting feature. Not just interesting, it is in time, because this is the beginning of the shopping season, and let's hopefully, Google has already established a solid base around how shopping ads can work for anybody who intends to do something on e-commerce. Now, this is just going to take it to another level. So get on to the shoppable ads on Google, and let's get this rolling. Alright, so when it comes to indexing your pages on Google has done a recent study, and they have made a recent reveal that Using HTML in your web pages or websites could help you index your sites faster, because one of the parameters that the Google crawlers look for is whether you have HTML, and that's what they look for first. So use as much as HTML as you can so that you get indexed faster, and that's all it matters when you want to show your ads on, I mean, results onto the top. So using HTML definitely is a plus as far as your bumping up the search results is concerned. So let's get on with that now. Alright, the next series of updates that I have today is from Facebook. Now, Facebook ad prices continue to go up. I mean, people, spenders or advertisers have seen a consistent increase in the price of the ads has gone up consistently over the few months. Now, the second update that I have about Facebook is Facebook has started experimenting with its, alright, or should I say, Facebook bounty program for bugs has gone up, and they are not just ready to compensate people to identify bugs in their own system, but they're also looking at people who could identify bugs with all the associated apps and websites that they actually deal with consistently. Now, if you really have this bug for finding a bug, and if you really want to make a quick buck out of it, just go on and experiment with these platforms where you can actually make a quick buck by trying to expose vulnerabilities, not just in the Facebook platform, but all the associated apps that Facebook deals with. Alright, so for all the websites that were identified as publishing fake news has been identified and has been taken care of by Facebook, where the engagement levels for the websites or the information published by these websites have been dropped by more than 50% from 2016 to 2018. Now, should we say that the Facebook bug identification or the Facebook's initiative to eradicate sites or profiles which publish fake information is actually working out? You never know. It actually seems to be working out, because compared to 2016 to 2018, there has been a consistent drop in 50% or more engagement rates for websites which have been identified as publishing fake news. That's an interesting move. Instagram to experiment with sending voice notes over direct messages to your Instagram friends, like how you could just send WhatsApp voice notes to your friends on WhatsApp. Now, Instagram is trying out the voice feature on Instagram direct messaging. Now, Instagram, people were initially very addictive to Instagram. Now, they later got addicted to Instagram stories. Then they got addicted to shopping on Instagram through its shopping posts. Now, how about this? People are really going to get addicted, and most of them are already addicted to shopping on Instagram on the stories. Yes, guys, you're right when you say that Instagram has introduced shopping to its stories, and now people should get ready to start shopping on Instagram stories. Now, how about this? Very, very carefully thought out plan where Instagram or Facebook decides to roll out ads onto the stories. Now they're making shopping possible on stories. So could it be a move where they're going to integrate ads, shopping ads on Instagram stories, which will close the deal for them? With the recent spike in the way meme marketing has taken over things, where people have started generating a lot of memes or use memes which are already existing to convey their message. Meme marketing is on the rise, nevertheless. They're funny, they're witty, they drive the point, they are very impactful, and they actually convey the meaning better than words, if you ask me. So Twitter is trying to test out mostly used GIFs feature when it comes to tweeting. Now they're experimenting. It's not on the cards. It's not confirmed as yet, but they will be experimenting with a frequently used GIFs section or a feature on Twitter. Now, another thing that feature is experimenting with upvotes and downvotes on tweets. Not sure if this will ever roll out. Not sure if this will ever take off, but they've been experimenting, and there are some accounts which are spotted doing so, where you will have like an upvote or a downvote depending upon the tweet that you. Now imagine this to be a like and dislike over a particular post. Now that feature is being extended to Twitter for some accounts, but no one is sure yet that this will ever really take off. So I think those are the two updates that I have about Twitter today. YouTube has made a lot of changes. Last week we had even discussed about how productive the week has been for YouTube last week. But if you are above 8, or if you're between 8 to 12 years of age, or if you have children or friends between 8 and 12 years of age, YouTube is trying to experimenting with playing music and your favorite music for if you're between these age, and games if you're actually between these age groups. So it's not just for kids who are underage and who are actually young and trying to experiment with the rhymes, but it's been rolled out to 8 and 12 year olds, or between people between 8 and 12 year olds, where you can actually play your favorite music and you can actually start playing your favorite games on YouTube. Amazon Pay launches Amazon EMI, and it's just going to crack down and start capitalizing on the billion-dollar payments market. So Amazon Pay, which is very recent in India, have been trying to help people pay their utility bills and start doing any payment, or should we say, enable wallet payments like how Alipay and similar platforms do. So Amazon Pay has been doing it for quite some, very recently. Not just that, they've recently launched Amazon Pay EMI, where they would be facilitating payments through easy monthly installments, which is a big thing in India, and it's a billion-dollar industry. Now, the second thing that I have about Amazon today is strange, but it's not anything related to your ads or anything of that. Plans to sell insurance in India, which is a very, very underutilized market. People in India are not insured enough, which means that it doesn't mean that we don't care about it, but we generally have a laid back attitude, and we tend to think too much about when it comes to insurance, and we think that, oh, nothing is going to happen to me. But it is a very underutilized market in India. So Amazon is trying to break through that, while other initiatives by other giants include things done by Walmart, Warren Buffett in association with Paytm. They've been all after letting people learn things on the fly, which I literally mean on the fly, where you're trying to fly and then start experiencing about LinkedIn learning. LinkedIn has introduced their new groups feature. They have unveiled their new look on the groups, and they're really good. Uh, though they're trying to say the same thing in another way, but they say that they have discovered the importance of groups and how groups should be the core of building a community, where they're into employment, and how they should actually capitalize on building a group. They should have done it a long time ago, but nevertheless they've realized the importance, and they've unveiled their new groups features, and I've already started experimenting with them, and they're really cool. I mean, employment and having a superior feature related to groups could actually do the magic for LinkedIn. So let's hope it all works out well, and that's it for me from today. It all turns out good for all of these new ventures and new updates to take off. And that's it from me for today. Until then, see you, and please subscribe to my channel, and any comments, feedbacks, please do not hesitate to pass it on to me. Just drop your email ID and I shall get back to you. Thank you so much, and until then, it's Casey signing off. Cheers.